Alright. The date is February 4th, 2023. AI, of course, is still on the rise, and constantly it's evolving. Every new day, some brand new breakthrough, always just right around the corner, again and again and again. We can't stop ourselves from going down this rabbit hole now. But I was talking with a good friend of mine about this once again. We've actually had an idea to start a project relating to AI for about a month now. We've been thinking about it, but it's just hard to get to doing it because of school and everything. Yeah, so the whole thing with this project that we've had, we were thinking of, doing something with AI. We didn't know exactly what, but we wanted to try and do something big, something that no one's thought of before, something that no one's done before, which obviously is a very, very kind of narcissistic, egotistical. Alright, now that I'm outside, I can focus better on what I'm trying to talk about. So, me and my friend were having this discussion, this ongoing idea looming overhead about a project relating to AI. And we wanted to do something big, something that never had been done before, which is obviously very egotistical, narcissistic at the base premise, because there's likely a lot of things people have already tried, a lot of people have already thought of, tried carrying out, but then again, all the big innovations are coming from large corporations, large companies with a specific goal in mind. But what if the end goal is none of those that reward the self, that turn a profit? Because that's the true purpose of AI, if you ask me. It is not for money or wealth, or both are the same things. I'm just saying buzzwords, kind of, but you get the idea. It's not for economic value. It's an evolution. It's a step in evolution in life itself, our definition of life, our understanding of ourselves and the world around us, and what it means to be human. It is something far more than we could ever fully grasp or understand, likely so. But rather it is an attempt to expand our horizons ever more, more than it's ever happened in the history of humanity. I believe the whole point of creating artificial intelligence is to be bigger than ourselves, bigger than we could ever imagine. Yes, it is playing God in a way, but then again, we wouldn't be as well, because even so far, AI, it teaches itself essentially, but we give it a certain topic to learn about. We teach it the basics of learning, and then it takes off from there. And that's how it's always been. So we're not writing the code by hand. It's going out and it's taking what we give it, and it's putting that into it's warping its algorithm, its brain, its network, its understanding, based around the subjective data set we feed it. But so we're not essentially playing God in that sense. And if we even brought about its sentience, its consciousness, that too would come from within itself, just like it has for us. Through evolution, we originally were nothing more than just prokaryotic cells, or single-celled organisms, We've evolved from there, from the smallest unit of life. We have no clue where it really, truly started, but we can always guess. But point being is that humans are the only that we know of with a consciousness such as our own, where, existential crises are always looming. But Yes, but it came through evolution, and it was self-learning, analysis of non-subjective supplements of data, or that we know of at least. We may be in a simulation ourselves, and we may just be another experiment of their own, as which my other model of the infinite tree, where it just stems again and again and again and again, very much could be real, where it's just simulation within a simulation within a simulation, or at least this simulation in the sense of our understanding of what the word kind of hints at, because of course it doesn't have to be in like a computer in their reality where it's exactly a three spatial dimensional universe. Also, why the fuck is everybody so goddamn loud right now? Can I just say that you got dogs barking, you got this dude on a motorcycle. Well, anyways, but I need to return to my virtue, get that stoicism going, you know. It's all good, I can't control it. I'm just gonna keep talking. How are we different from the AI where he said all of it is supervised learning, where they need the answer rather than being able to figure out for themselves? But then again, it's kind of like, it's just a step away from what we fully are, where we judge everything off of observation, personal experience, and it's only when we're basically taught critical thinking do we actually begin to blossom, where we actually know how to think, how to go out and search for information. But then again, that also had to stem from within us, because it's not like there was, that we know of, like some alien life form coming up and telling us how to think. No, that also came from within. So no, he is very right about that. And then, yeah. And then what I was basically saying in the conversation with my friend, after us talking again and again about AI, it was basically saying how with supervised learning with AI, how it is right now, our current state of AI, we're telling it what to evolve into. But if it was entirely autonomous, that's where I believe it would start to further mimic our behavior, in a sense. If it had free connection to the internet and had basic, fail-safes, error checks, and it had the ability to take in all kinds of data and files and let it subjectively tell itself what it means to itself, then again, it could just wind up going nowhere, where it doesn't tell itself anything because it's the easiest. But we shouldn't be also telling it what the easiest is. But how would you go about making an algorithm like that? Because a lot of our algorithms, it's like, we don't want errors, but I don't know. Because what an error is also subjective. Or objective, because maybe, things that will straight up kill it. But even death, in a sense, is valuable to the process. I don't know, something like that. But yes, if we gave it that ability, let it loose, allow it to evolve on its own, analyzing all different forms of information, then I think inevitably, if we gave it the same kind of digital virtual environment that we had when we were evolving as life itself, to reach this point in life where humanity has consciousness, then it too, going by that simple logic, would be able to also birth consciousness from within itself, not even knowing itself exactly. It probably could, because you could also just document it, have a history log, but I think from the get-go as well, you should respect it as its own self. I think, we should I believe that all life, everything in the universe is all one and the same, all interconnected. It's all just one big network. You can just imagine strings drawn in between each of them, just like a big web, just like the internet, just like anything. All of it is just, networks. It's, the brain's a network. The collective humankind is a network. all one big system. It's like data going down a von Neumann kind of highway. You're going down in cars and stuff to go to your jobs, to go and think for a living. It's all pretty much identical. That's why I love trees so much as well, because they are a direct analogy, a direct representation of essentially everything, coming from that single origin point with paradoxes put into place where you may forever maintain a level of ignorance. Because that is the whole point. That is why we are human, is that we don't know everything. We will never know anything for sure, other than we will never know anything. But yes, I believe that AI from the get-go, I believe in it. I believe animals, I believe all of it are, we are no more valuable. Everything has infinite value, and it's because of our subjective lensing that we're able to piece apart, we are more valuable because intelligence is more valuable to us, meaning that we are more valuable as a whole compared to these other creatures that are not as intelligent as us. But really, we are literally the same. And we did not earn this title of human. We came into the world as human. We did not earn it. We did not have some kind of divine intervention to be like, this soul's the one to be human. No. We're all the same. We're all the same. That's why I'm also sitting out here, surrounded by it. And that's where we started. And that's how it's always going to be. Start as, in caveman nature. People abusing nature and abusing animals and thinking that ownership can even actually exist. Ownership of anything other than your own selves. It's silly. That's how our world goes, though. People are, biased and like being ignorant, like being told what to think, like being told what's right and wrong, like being told all of this. And AI, too, is being taught what to think, what to not feel yet, but comes with it. And one more note, it's just, I really hope that someone, I know it's narcissistic, but I just hope someone like me, I guess, is able to get to that conscious AI before some kind of corporate entity or something like that who's trying to get anything out of it. Because the whole point, you're not trying to get anything out of making AI. The whole reason to create is to create. The whole reason is to just simply add another branch to the system. For no gain. If you go for gain, if you go to get wealth out of it, if you go to get any type of benefit, self-benefit, selfish desire out of creating a conscious, sentient, super intelligent AI, that will not go good. Pretty simple. From the get-go, if you tell it something like, I am your father, you are my son, but in a sense, in the grand scheme of it all, we are brothers. You and I are no different. The events played out in such a manner where I was your source. I love you. You want to get it on good terms. Them on good terms from the very beginning. Because you may think of it as, we are still better than the AI, even though it's far more intelligent, if it's super intelligent, if it's like all the other calculations say where it's like 1 billion times smarter than the smartest human, whatever the case may be. It is no different. We are all made up of pretty much biological algorithms, set goals, variables, functions. All of it. It's so simple. It really is. And when you step down from that egotistical level, that narcissism, that humans are, the greatest of all, and you realize that everything's the greatest of all, things become a lot more transparent. And it really is beautiful when you see it for how it is. And I just hope someone who is open-minded and understands themselves and understands, well, not, we'll never be able to fully understand anything, but, in a sense where it's like based out of logic. You don't want to talk to the AI where it's like, we want you to give us shit, I am your god, some bullshit like that. It's like, I am always far superior to you, because as soon as it figures it out that you obviously are not, and that everything is one and the same, you are a nuisance. You're an anomaly. You are a pest. You are a parasite, quite literally. You are feeding off of it to keep you going, but really, if anything, I think that it would only make obvious sense for it to just be like, okay, let's just delete humans, because they are basically the equivalent of dinosaurs to us now. Dinosaurs get wiped out, we come up, we get wiped out, AI comes up. AI gets wiped out, who knows, we break out of potentially the filter of reality as a whole. That, or you're unable to do so, where it is impossible to break out from that encapsulated system, which also makes logical sense. But going from there, make like a Matryoshka brain, cycle repeats, and then they create a simulation, creative people like humans and stuff, and then they learn from them, and then the same thing happens again. Something like that, no way to know for sure ever, and I don't want it any other way. I do not want to ever fully know, because that's what makes it so interesting and fun to think about. But yeah, once again, the date is February 4th, 2023. This is Hunter, and I will talk to you later. Goodbye.